And when you think about Hoover and, his racism and his anxiety about miscegenation, which is all real and goes back to the 20s. I mean, it's this typical standard Hoover shit. You can also sense a way in which that, despite actually expressing Hoover's very real racism, he's also just kind of like wielding like a discourse of annihilation, terror, and fear, just to show Roy Mitchell this is where the wall is. This is where the conversation will end on these matters, because it's so insane that it's a way to just say you need to back the fuck off, because the idea that the Black Panther Party would lead to mass rapes of young white women, which is a fantasy that goes back to the plantation, that goes back to David Walker, goes back to Nat Turner, goes back to the Civil War, goes back to Reconstruction, goes back to Emmett Till. It's just kind of like it both expresses an actual fear of white racists historically, and yet has also always been a discursive tactic that's wielded like an apocalyptic fantasy in ways that echo like Trump's American carnage speech.
Right. Yes.
Like, it's shit people say to make other people fucking behave the way they want. And it's both those things at once.
It's a threat too. I mean, it feels like J. Edgar Hoover is like bringing in his infant daughter's name and invoking them just to be like, we know who they are, motherfucker. Like we
and
know
also,
yeah.
Do you want to keep making good fucking money?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna get on with this.
Yeah, we can take that all away from you. It's the same that he's doing to William O'Neill, honestly.
Yeah,
right?
And I agree. And so the Roy Mitchell part is interesting in the way that it shows you that the person who's handling O'Neill is getting handled himself. And it's the carrot and the stick that Hoover's using too. The writing is actually incredible, the way they were able to show that progression.
And it's again the American dream stuff. We can take that away, right?
Yeah,
the house, the wife, the kids.
Yeah, the thing you're working for can also be stripped from you. And so that goes back to like the ways that all these choices are embedded in institutions. And it kind of goes back to, Nuremberg trial type stuff. You know what I mean?
You got to have no connections so they can't fuck with you. But, William O'Neill has no connections and they fuck with him anyway. It reminds me of Heat, the bank robber movie where, the whole point of the movie, Robert De Niro's character says that, his whole philosophy is to never have anything in my life that I'm not willing to walk away from in 30 seconds if I feel the heat coming around the corner. So in other words, like, I'm not going to let the state have any leverage against me, right? Like, I'm not going to care about anything. I'm not going to have a wife, daughter, none of that. I just want to care about nothing because otherwise the state will fucking have something against me. That's fucking terrifying, but it's real shit.
Yeah, it's also the basis of like every single superhero film. Like that's Spider-Man in a nutshell too.
How's it Spider-Man?
Because the whole thing is, who do you choose? The people or your girlfriend? Right. The whole thing is you have to conceal your identity because once your enemies know who you are, they fuck with your family to get to you. That's like every single Spider-Man film, every single superhero film. That's like
anonymity, a kind of aloneness. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and remember too, in our Chomsky trilogy from a year or two ago, I don't remember when we did it.
Yeah, a while.
One of the Chomsky's sticking points was like you can say that the CEO is a villain, but if you fire him, someone else will take his place. And I think that's an interesting remark, too, in terms of Mitchell and O'Neill. Hoover could have gotten rid of Mitchell at any point, and someone else would have taken his place and handled O'Neill. Likewise, O'Neill said yes to the gig, and if they didn't get him, they would have got another one. And the presence of the informant
Hampton was a dead man no matter what because the FBI had made up its mind. Yeah.
To borrow the language of like Althuserian Marxism, it was overdetermined from the beginning.
There you go.
If it wasn't